get a check on what's playing out now. We have Gilbert, your partner now. He's a lead at Smart Investor Lodge. Hello, Gilbert. Great to have you.
Yeah, greetings, Mr. Ladi. Good afternoon.
Right. So we have a producer price index. I believe that's coming out today. That's for the U.S. CPI data tomorrow. Possible rate cut next week. But Bitcoin is not in hyperbull mode. What do you think is playing out?
Okay, so while we're expecting the PPI number today, which will set the stage for tomorrow's CPI data, and of course, yes, the market have already priced in over a 95% chance that we're going to have a rate cut by Wednesday next week. But the thing is that uncertainty remains. Like a cut on Wednesday does not equal a cure. So at this point, only retail investors are celebrating the potentials of a rate cut, which we're also anticipating we should have 2 to 3 rate cuts, this year. One could be this month. We could have another October and then December. But right now, there are 2 possibilities that we have higher chances of 2 rate cuts, which is one this month and also by December. But then only retail investors are celebrating the possibility of this cut without paranoia, because investors are cautious before committing capital, because they know that even though rate cuts are always bullish, but a quick fix does not equal a cure at this point. On Saturday, there was this data by CryptoQuant that says that we have had the largest real sell-off since 2022. So right now, some institutional investors are running into yield for safety, before they understand what is until they have a clear picture of what is happening in the economy before they could commit more capital into the market. But then I still think that while the market is trying to test some downside, the rate cuts that we should have, at this month and probably 1 or 2 more before this year ends, they are quite bullish anyway, but we may still test this new support level before we will have some upward continuation for Bitcoin and also other major crypto assets.
All right, so let's try and imagine now we get the first rate cuts in the U.S. next week. Do you see a sell the news event or a big rally for Bitcoin?
Okay, when we had with a large level of certainty that we are going to have a rate cut after the Jackson Hole summit by Jerome Powell, the market had some bullishness, but it was on the micro time frame. What happened at this point is that investors started taking profit. It was a sell the news. Don't forget, there are many persons, especially institutional investors, that started buying since 16, 17K to also 24K. And they have made over, like if you look at the surge that Bitcoin has made, some of them are seated at about 600% profit. And institutional investors always socially engineer a sell-off. So they understand that many persons are looking at the possibilities of rate cuts, and this is a good opportunity for them to start selling because they have to social engineer their sell-off. So even if we have a rate cut, it depends on a lot of things that could happen in the market. I still think that this rate cut, some institutional investors who are selling will still use this as an opportunity, to socially engineer, taking out their profit in the market. However, I still think that when there is more clarity of maybe the fact that after this rate cut, we may have 2 more, there will still be some capital that will be committed into the market because these institutional investors at the moment hate uncertainty. So this uncertainty is making early investors, they are leaving the market, while those who still have money to commit into the market are on the sidelines waiting for certainties before they could recommit capital into the market.
Right, and we know there are some traders that like to bet on price direction. What are you seeing this week? Are the shorts going to have it for Bitcoin, or are you seeing the longs making profit?
Well, when we look at macroeconomics, the rate cut is quite positive. And the fact that we had job numbers, how it is, and then we anticipate that inflation should be at a level that increases the chances that we are going to have a rate cut. That is positive when we are looking at macroeconomic scene. However, when I look at technically and the chart, the chart always tells a story. There are 2 things Bitcoin is showing us. Either at the local support level, we are going to hold, bounce off, and start an upward continuation, or we still have possibility to test a new support level. So technically, when we're looking at have we capitulated, I think regardless, the market is bracing up for continuation, but still with a large possibility that we are going to test a downside before we continue the move, which in my view in my view, I still think that we may still see a 145 to 150 KBTC this bull run before the winter begins.
Right, quite an optimistic price level there. But thank you so much, Gilbert Jokwata, team lead, Smart Investor Lodge. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.